the Cleveland Browns reportedly have benched Joe Flacco for Mr. Dylan Gabriel for the Vikings. Not breaking news in my opinion, but what that says is, listen, if you come play the Detroit Lions, we're going to make sure your quarterback is benched. And that kind of brings me to my next question. Is anybody excited about the Cincinnati game? Feel like this is going to be a very strange week for football. And,
what was the final score of that game? Hold on a second. Oh, just one more quick thing. I did some looking up here. I think the Guardians look like they're going to start Tanner Bybee tomorrow, and then game 3 will probably be Slade Ciccone, or how you pronounce his names. We'll see what the Tigers' plan is to do that. I imagine they're probably going to start Flaherty against that, but we'll see.
Flaherty and then Mize probably.
Flaherty and Mize, yeah. But Bobby has a 12-11 record, 4.24 ERA, 162 strikeouts, 123 WHIP, the mid numbers, but still, he's a right-hander. We'll see what this team can do against him. But yeah, I just thought he asked me that earlier. I didn't really have a good answer. I kind of wanted to just
no, I appreciate you following back, because that was a genuine question. I didn't know either. Yeah. So thank you for
I didn't know.
Me.
You totally caught me off guard. I was just like, I don't know. Sorry. But yeah.
It's okay.
I'm scared, Mark. I'm scared. You're asking me too many tough questions. Yeah, the Bengals got their shit rocked by the Broncos. Jesus Christ.
Not even Browning. That, man. You missed the biggest news in the world.
What's that?
The Browns are changing their quarterback to Dylan Gabriel after Joe Flacco got manhandled by the Detroit Lions. So,
Lord.
Then following up with that, not only did we just play a team who just benched their 41-year-old starting quarterback, but the Cleveland, or I'm sorry, they're playing like the Browns. The Cincinnati Bengals have an awful offense right now, and I feel absolutely terrible, because all I'm seeing right now is ranking Bengals quarterback trade options.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter from our perspective, right? Because even if they were to bring in somebody, whoever we're playing, it's like, okay, do you want what's this goofball's name that's currently playing? You just said it.
Jake Browning.
Okay, so we're going to unleash Hutch to the boys after Jake Browning. Or do you want to take, and none of these trades will happen, but Winston, Russell Wilson,
Jameis Winston,
Andy Dalton, or Jameis Winston.
The Red Rockets still in the league.
Kirk Cousins, right?
Kirk Cousins. Oh, man. I thought he got a raw deal.
So, yeah, screw him. He got paid.
Well, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I just have empathy. I'm sorry. I have empathy. But, yeah, I'm looking at this.
You do. You're a lot nicer than I am.
Yeah. The Bengals are still 2-2. That's hard to believe. But,
well,
I know. But that game against I know 2-2, but then they're 0-2 under the new quarterback, obviously since Joe Burrow went down. But, Jake Browning, 14-25, 125 yards. Chase Brown he had 10 carries for 40 yards, averaging 4 yards a carry. T. Higgins, 3 receptions for 32 yards.
Don't see the big deal in him. I don't.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Chase Brown has 31 receiving yards, so he had like 70 total yards on the day. That's not going to get the job. Jamar Chase, 23 yards at 5 receptions.
Guy's got a bag, but man, he's got a one out of town now too.
Oh my God, yeah. It's just like they're not going to protect. I don't know what the deal with like the Bengals offensive line is. I don't know I don't follow the Bengals too closely. Obviously I know I know Joe Burrow's a special quarterback, obviously, but the guy, if he's not going to stay healthy, it's going to be an issue, obviously. But yeah, we'll see. So I'm not really worried about the Bengals. I was more worried about the Browns than the Bengals. I thought the Browns could have possibly been a trap game, but it was not. So we'll see how they do. Lines probably went up 4-1. And then I know we're looking at the schedule and whatnot, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Well,
now you're looking at a league that has Joe Burrow out. It has Tyreek Hill out. It has, who else do we have out of this league? We've got quite a few big name players that I think are on the wrong teams, right? So if you're an injured player and you're on the wrong team, which we all know half these guys are you going, how the fuck do I get out of town? right? Is this my flash in the pan of scare? Like, dude, Tyreek Hill, this has to scare him and go, all right, I need to go get another ring real quick before I blow my other
Yeah.
leg out, right? Like,
Yeah, he's
this
not gonna
isn't,
do anything in
no,
Miami.
yeah, nothing. Nobody's going to do anything in Miami, dude.
No.
It's an awful team. It's an awful coach team. I feel bad for Aaron Glenn because he couldn't beat him, but
Yeah.
the same thing with the Bengals, dude. Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is going to do exactly what Matt Stafford did and just say, "Get me out of here." Right? Like,
Yeah.
get a bunch of picks for me. Go out and draft a bunch of dudes. Go get Arch Manning, but like,
Hit a
get
hard
me
reset.
out of here.
Oh, God, Arch Manning.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, gonna
Getting you
hit
ready
that
for that
button.
conversation.
Oh, brother, not. I have not been following Texas too closely. I've kind of been. I know well,
Oh,
Michigan had a bye, so I didn't really have much to talk about this week. I've been kind of shirking my college football responsibilities, but
if you
yeah,
want
I
someone who
don't.
loves Texas football, it's Hitch. He
Oh
loves
yeah,
Arch Manning.
oh yeah.
He's such a Texas kind of fella. He
Hmm.
loves that team. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's dude, it's gonna be. I'm glad we're not hitting a hard reset right now because you're looking at teams like Tennessee that hit a hard reset, and that's a
mm,
hard reset with Cam Ward.
yeah,
New Orleans Saints, they're going to be doing that. The Jets, like they just got obviously Aaron Glenn, so that buys them time. They love Aaron
yeah,
Glenn, right? Everybody loves buys them a couple years. But Carolina Panthers, again, sell the team, right?
yeah, yeah. The Bryce Young experiment is not working out, to say the
It's
least.
not, and let them go somewhere else, dude. Stop gatekeeping and holding these guys
Yeah,
to these shitty ass teams, right? Just let them go. You can cut coaches without any qualms. Move on with these guys, right? So
yeah,
the Browns, I think by the halfway through the season, we're seeing Shedeur Sanders, and I think they genuinely
yeah.
keep him as a starting quarterback. I do.
It's possible. I haven't seen much of him. I remember him at Colorado. I mean, he was
He's
an exciting
awful,
player.
but guess
I
what?
mean,
Dylan Gabriel is going to suck balls. I'm sorry,
yeah,
Dylan. He's going to suck balls, and there's nothing fun about Dylan Gabriel. Joe
yeah,
Flacco's funny story is over. So you're going to do what puts people's eyes on the TV, and you're going to put this clown show of a
yeah,
Shedeur Sanders in, and he's going to do his little dance for you and sing a song for you. And Cleveland's going to hate him. I really, truly think that
yeah.
they
He
hate him.
doesn't.
But
You know what? I haven't. From what I've seen of the kid. I mean, yeah, he made some exciting plays in Colorado. I know, but the draft night. Remember him falling like 150 spots or whatever. That was brutal, absolutely brutal. I mean, because people are sometimes people are saying like this kid's like a first round talent, first or maybe second round, but that wasn't the case clearly. But from what I see of him in Cleveland, it seems like he doesn't take it seriously. He's like dancing around at practice. He's like cracking jokes and stuff. He's trying to be like the class clown, and he doesn't give me the impression that he
well, that's the
takes the
knock.
position seriously. Yeah,
That was the knock on him is that he doesn't, right?
yeah. No, he
I
doesn't.
mean, there's a thing you see where him and Cam Ward are throwing balls for the combine, and he goes up to Cam Ward and he's like, "Hey, you want to write a song?" And Cam Ward's like, "I play football, dude. What the fuck? Get away from me! I'm not writing a song."
Yeah,
And I would have done the same thing. Like, just stop being weird and annoying.
I know.
But whatever. I think
He's in it
he's
for the
going to
celebrity.
fizzle out for
Yeah,
sure, and he'll
he's gonna
fizzle out.
be.
Um, it's over with, right? And
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for him because if you saw his pre-draft, his draft room, and all
Hmm.
his chains and the chosen one and all this shit,
Yeah.
like, dude, if you're buying your own hype that hard right now, like, I get building your brand, but if you're
Hmm.
buying your own bullshit at that age, get the fuck out. You better be
Yeah,
like your
he's gonna
dad, and
be.
you're not.
You
So
know, yeah, it's just like obviously like Shadur, buddy, your dad's not the coach anymore. You got to lock in. But I still
yeah,
think he has the ability. But furthermore, is it fair? I had a question for you, Mark. Is it fair to
okay.
compare like the culture or whatever you want to call it, the cult of personality surrounding Shadur Sanders? Do you think it's fair to compare him to like a Johnny Manziel type player that's just essentially like undraftable? Do you say he has the
Um,
same kind of legacy as Johnny Manziel?
He's definitely no, because Johnny Manziel didn't care about anything. He didn't
Yeah.
care about football. He didn't come from a football pedigree. He just kind of walked through that whole situation. I believe that Shador Sanders is a good athlete, cares about football, but his perspective on it is just tilted and one from somebody who buys his own bullshit. And I think, again, every player has to buy their own bullshit. But
Yeah.
if your last name wasn't Sanders, I
Nobody
think
would.
you would just be
Yeah.
a fourth,
Nobody would care.
fifth round quarterback. And if your name was Shador Bockwinkel, whatever, you'd have a shot in the NFL. Sorry, Shador Scarcella.
Yeah.
Hitch's long lost other brother. But like, dude, if he would have been exactly what he is, he just without
Mhm.
all the fanfare. He's a
Yeah.
talented athlete. There's no doubt
Yeah.
about that. But it's just the
He's
fanfare that comes with it, and that's part of the NFL. That's part of their bullshit,
yeah.
right? And why people don't give a shit about watching ESPN right now, and why there's 72.5 million people watching us live.
Mhm.
But that's just my opinion. I think
Yeah.
they love these shitty ass storylines in it, and if the player buys into them, they're gonna get ruined.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you see this kind of culture, like remember like Antonio Brown and some of these other guys, like all the glitz and
Yep.
glam, they get big into it, they buy into it. They essentially just, they're sucking themselves off. They're just like they're huffing their own farts. You see it happen to lots of
They're
guys.
fart huffers,
And yeah, they're fart huffers. That's
and
what
they
they
go,
are. That's what
"Thanks."
Shadur Sanders is. He's a nepotism case. He is a talented player. He has upside. Maybe the
Mhm.
Manziel comparison, I'm thinking, maybe not in terms of talent. I don't compare him to Johnny Manziel in terms of talent, but just like kind of the ego he has, But I know maybe that was kind of a brutal comparison. That's not fair to the kid, but I don't know. It's just something that popped into my mind.
Yeah,
But
Johnny Manziel, I think his problem was he had demons, dude. That guy
yeah,
was
he
just
did.
like I think that guy was just looking to get in trouble. And
Hmm.
Shador's not like that. He's just, again,
No.
who's like walks up to the kid like guys like us who grew up in a normal house, and he's like, "So, how many Rolexes do you have?" And you're like, "What?" And he's just out of
Yeah.
touch with reality, right? But again,
Yep.
very talented,
Hmm.
just doesn't seem to have that come
Yeah.
down
That,
to a normal level. But
yeah, I was, mm, no, go ahead.
could be more like a Justin Fields if he had a better work ethic.
Yeah, yeah, possibly. Justin Fields can at least, I see it's frustrating, but he was scrambling a bit, against the who were they playing?
Well,
Not
his
the Broncos, but
athleticism. He's
yeah,
got
yeah,
really good athleticism,
yeah, the
and
Miami
he's
Dolphins, yeah,
he's now that he's not with the Chicago Bears, he's kind of a guy that like I'm rooting for, because if there's anybody that could take the athletic quarterback and evolve it, it's a guy
hmm,
like him. He's big, he's strong, he's a
yeah,
smart guy. He doesn't seem to be a bad teammate. He's
no,
just not had the right coaching in front of him to take him to that next level. And I think if you
yeah,
would have had Justin Fields with Ben Johnson,
hmm,
you were actually probably would have been a lot better than that Ben Johnson with Caleb Williams. Because I don't know,
yeah.
just Justin Fields seemed a lot more coachable.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Caleb Williams has put up. I think in his last 21 games, he's had like 28 touchdowns and 8 picks. Caleb Williams is a talented guy. I know we hate him. He's got his
He's
fingernails and stuff like
talented.
that. He does have talent. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how like the Fields thing would have worked out for him. Maybe they could have penciled it. They could have fit him into a better offense or something. Maybe it is a coaching issue. I mean, that's Aaron Glenn's problem now, or whoever the coordinator in Jets land is. But one more word on Shadur Sanders. I know we talked about him in the draft, but that draft should have humbled him. I hope it does at some point. I hope he understands. How he came off to those teams was very, very bad.
No,
And
he doesn't.
I
I don't think he does.
yeah, you're probably right. You're probably
When the
right. That's the
Baltimore
vibe I
Ravens
get.
tell you that they're going to draft you and they're going to put you behind Lamar Jackson, and you're like, no, I want to start. You're like, what? I could be a part of an amazing franchise, sit behind
Amazing
a dynamic
franchise.
quarterback
Yeah,
who, like, I'm trying to mirror myself in. Like, nope. He's like, then he goes to the Browns. And that's like,
yeah.
you're still the fourth string quarterback.
I know. I
So,
know.
I,
God, just
yeah, you're
imagine.
going to have a
Yeah,
shot to play for the Browns, but look at your shot now. Your shot
yeah,
from Baltimore could have been at such a different level and a different time. And your
yeah,
shot in Browns land is probably going to be after Dylan Gabriel throws like 5 interceptions and
yeah,
forgets to the snap count, right? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Imagine,
I
imagine a
don't know.
guy. Imagine Shador in John Harbaugh's system being sculpted into like Lamar Jackson archetype. That could be dangerous. But with the Browns, he's just going to stagnate, and I think it's his own. It's his own fault. It's his own fault. But
It's
I think
100% his own fault.
yeah, I think we ripped him apart enough. But talking about
Yeah, dude, speaking of that, he just
Yeah.
sent me a text and said, "Easy up, brah."
Shit. Sorry, Shador. Sorry. Tell your dad I'm a big fan. God, I'm so tired of fucking. Oh, I'm so tired of the Sanders family. Oh,
I'm gonna look at this Bengals team real quick because, dude, there's not much to talk about this game.
there really
This is a
isn't. There
cleanup
really
game.
isn't.
This is just a cleanup game. Go in, go out there and clean things up from the last game and show yourself that you can achieve this goal or that goal because the longer this Joe Burrow situation stays, the more these guys are just gonna bail. Like they're not
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real mess in Cincinnati. I know they got to a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. It was very exciting, but it's just like all that goodwill, all that positive progression is just in tatters right now. It's a real mess. A lot of drama going on. If I'm
already
Burrow,
talking
like you
about
said,
moving on from their coach.
yeah, it's a fucking disaster. You see this happen sometimes. I remember with the Miami Dolphins when they first got Tua back before he got his brain turned into gelatin. People were talking about Brian Flores as being like this good coach and a good system, and Tua being like a dynamic quarterback, and then it all just fell apart. And now
Mhm.
it's an absolute mess in Miami because something similar. It looks to me like it's happening in Cincinnati, and it's a similar situation to Jacksonville. Remember, they had a great season about 5, 6, 7 years ago, but they won like 13, 14 games, but they just couldn't keep the team together. It seemed like maybe Jacksonville's turning a corner. Maybe they got a coach in place. Maybe they got a system. They got the right guys at the right time, and they built a winner. But they just lost everybody. I hate seeing a culture shift stall, and sometimes I worry that might happen to the Detroit Lions. But honestly, I just don't see it happening anytime soon. It's been about 5 years of this, but yeah, but more often Cincinnati, it's a mess and I don't know how it gets fixed. And I don't think Joe Burrow wants to endure this shit much longer. So yeah,
Well, he doesn't, and I'm reading these comments from Jamar Chase, and Jamar Chase is just out there stating in the most polite way, right? And he's saying because he was asked if the Bengals have a true sense of urgency after back-to-back blowout losses, and he said,
yeah,
"Urgency's there, but you've got to want it." Today, it didn't look like he wanted it, and
hmm
thank God the geniuses of Joe Buck and Troy Aikman agreed. Oh
hmm
wow, awesome.
yeah,
But it's true, man, right? And you're starting, and these are the words of the stripe hype, which must be Cincinnati's like one pride, right? Or pride of
yeah,
Detroit. And it says we're starting to see a pattern of incompetent offensive game planning and seemingly no signs from Taylor, right? So this is already a dig at
yeah,
the head coach, and that he's had any adjustments left in his bag. So now is this a Jamar Tate Chase led team or a Zach Taylor led team? And is Zach Taylor going and sticking with his shitty offensive game planning? And is that going to get him kicked out of Cincy? Right. So suddenly the 2-0 start season looks like a mirage, and that's pretty easy, right? So we're
yeah,
averaging 41.3 points across our last three wins. What scares me, dude, is that they still have dogs on the defense, right?
hmm
It's just, do these guys give a shit and want to play? And probably for the first half, yeah. The second half, maybe. But if we're sitting here and Hutchinson has got a fucking some dude's arm and he's just beating the other guy in the head with it, are these guys just gonna go, I'm done, dude. I don't care. Because that's what happened in that Denver game. They gave up.
yeah, absolutely. It was a total disaster. I just I mean that it wasn't as bad as that fucking Minnesota Vikings beat down where you had
Oh God.
oh shit, who's his name? Shit.
Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz. Jeez, it was on the tip of my tongue. I almost had it. You didn't have to remind me almost.
That
But
crappy.
yeah, it was that, that was an absolute disaster. But when Bo Nix is putting up 330 yards and 2 touchdowns on you, J.K. Dobbins looked like a stud. Cortland
Hmm.
Sutton had 80 yards. I mean, just like it's just stunting all over the Bengals. I mean, obviously not, it wasn't as catastrophic as the Minnesota Vikings game, but it's just clear this team the Bengals has absolutely nothing without Joe Burrow. I mean, it's a real mess. And I understand, Jamar Chase, he might get sick of this shit too, man. And what we had there,
That sounds like he already is.
it sounds like he already is, but what could be, with Jamar Chase and like Joe Burrow, it could be like a dynamic thing. It kind of reminds me a little bit of like maybe Matthew Stafford and like a Calvin Johnson. Maybe that's kind of not a great comparison, but two guys, who can are obviously talented, a great connection, could be a really epic story, like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice or something. But
It's what
it's just kind
exactly what
of
it reminds me of. And
it
what are
just
you
kind of
gonna do with it?
fizzles. Yeah. What are you
Are you
gonna
gonna
do? What are
let
you gonna do?
Jamar Chase retire like we let Calvin and then trade off Stafford and hit the
Yeah.
reset? Or do you
That
just
was
trade them both right now and maximize your value?
yeah. I
Because
mean, it's just it just sucks to
I
be
don't know,
it
man.
just yeah, it's just a real mess. Ugh. Ugh,
Well,
ugh, ugh.
I don't know if you're putting any money on these games or not, but like I've been kind of looking
No.
at some of these betting odds, and I guess they're already making their projections for Week 5, and they set the opening betting line as the Lions minus 8.5 points.
Okay.
That's big.
Yeah, that is big. That is big, but it's totally understandable. Yeah, I don't see. I mean, this team does not. It's going to be easy pickings for the Lions. This game is just a cushion game. That's what I call it, where you can just build up a little bit of a lead in the division. I don't know who Green Bay plays next, but that was pretty funny. That
Another
oh
team
god,
that
that
they want to tie with.
yeah, another team they tied with I gotta give credit. I just think it's funny. I think I brought it up already, but I think we talked about this before. But credit where credit's due. Dak Prescott making some amazing plays in that game. But it's just one of those games. Yeah, Cincinnati's situation's bad. I feel bad for them because Mark, you and I both know what it's like to have a football team that is totally, completely helpless and hopeless and just has no positive future. And it sucks because Cincinnati got to a Super Bowl. That's something Detroit Lions, even when they sucked, never able to do. But just the come down from that, and you see it happen with
And
a
how
lot of
cool
teams.
they looked.
How cool they looked, and you see what they're capable of with Joe Burrow. But if they can't keep him healthy, it's just a fucking mess.
I'll tell you what, well, the Packers get a bye this week after that shitbag tie with
Yeah.
Dallas. They get a bye.
Okay. Well, good
And
for
the
them.
Dallas Cowboys, let's see. What are
Who are
my
they
buddies
playing
here at the
next?
Dallas Cowboys doing? They're playing the Jets. So that's going to be Aaron Glenn's. Dude, we got to root hard for Aaron Glenn in that game.
Yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
Glenn, we're going all in on you guys because you're going to beat the Dallas Cowboys. And the
We
Dallas
got to root for
Cowboys are going to
J.J.
lose to
McCarthy
the
versus the Packers
Jets.
too. Yep. Yep. Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
love it.
Wait, I
It's
got
going to be
one
good,
thing
dude.
here. Yeah, I got one thing on Reddit that said Lions are favored by 10.5 in Cincy. I don't know, man.
Really?
Do you take the
Well,
points?
I'm
You
just
got to take
pulling
the
up
points with that.
DraftKings right now.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
pulling it up
on.
right now just to see.
I don't know if the lines are moving. I don't know if there's been any updates. I don't know if there's any injury stuff happening. But what are the Detroit Lions injuries at? Has there been anything announced?
Dude,
I don't know why. I just kind of wonder
let's
if the
see.
line is moving.
The money line is minus 535.
Yeah. Damn.
You're about to
Damn.
pull it up.
Yeah, I got
The
Dan
over
Campbell
under,
gives good
dude, is
news.
set at 49.5. Holy
49
shit.
and a half. How much of that's going to be the Lions? Holy moly.
I know, and that's what makes me wonder, do you take the under? Because like that's all Lions if that's what you think the
Yeah.
Lions are gonna seriously put up like almost 50 points themselves.
The
And the
Lions could
Bengals
do.
put up what, 6?
I
Like
mean, we saw.
there's a
Yeah.
shootout, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to. Why? That's
Yeah.
I don't know. I would not take the over on that. I take the under.
Yeah, probably. That's
Holy
fine
shit,
on a
you're right.
bad
The
bet to
spread
make.
is at fucking minus 10, Tom.
Mine is
It
10
has
and a
changed.
half. Holy shit, it has changed. But
Minus 10.
as far as, I mean,
That's
there's good
wild.
news on, there's good news on DJ Reed and Terry and Arnold to keep him down for a while, but it avoids the worst case. So DJ Reed's probably going to be missing, which sucks, but what are you going to do?
Well, if there's a game that he's going to miss, and I think it's going to be a couple weeks, this one I'm okay with. We got to have him healthy for the back end of the season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like if he's going to be, dude, if he's out for a couple games, okay. Our corners, Nick Robertson and all these other fellas are playing nice, but seeing what DJ Reed's already done for us, we're going to need him healthy at the right time.
Absolutely. We got to get through this glut of the season. We know they kind of have a gauntlet coming up. They got the Chiefs coming up. God, the Bengals game was so scary at the start of the season, but now it's just like, ha. Oh, they got the Buccaneers, Vikes, Commanders, Eagles. That's the toughest, after the Bengals, these 5 games coming up here, that's the meat of the season right there. That's going to be the toughest 5 games of the season. If the Lions can be like, 3-2, and that would make them like 7-3. If the Lions can be like 7-3 through this, I'm not. I don't know if they're going to be. I think the Chiefs and the Eagles are probably going to be the losses. But you never know. Lions could surprise you. But yeah, they're going to be in Kansas City. But yeah, if they can be like 3-2 I don't know if at 4-1 is probably asking for too much, but if they could be 3-2 in the next 5 weeks, I think we'll be sitting pretty because we got the Giants, Packers, Cowboys, and Rams. We got the Steelers with old ass Aaron Rodgers, Vikings again, and then the Bears against. These next 5 games,
You're
that's
right,
going to
man.
be
This
yeah, that can make or break the
this
Lions
schedule looks
season
so
going
different.
forward. Yeah, yeah,
So
but
different at the beginning of the season. It does like a whole different perspective now that things are
yeah,
falling out. And
yep.
and yeah,
And there's still injuries. There's still
that's
stuff there's still a
yeah,
lot of stuff that can happen.
yeah.
You know, we saw the Ravens had a few injuries. But yeah, you never know. I mean, things can change week to week. So I
Well,
don't
not
know.
much
It's
has
just
changed in this New York
no.
Boston game. Still 1-0, top of the fifth. Not much has changed.
Yeah, that's not too surprising. But yeah, it's hard to predict these kind of things. You don't know if like the Lions are going to get bit by the injury bug again or whatever. But yeah, we'll see how this plays out. I got a pretty good feeling, but Lions got
Yeah,
to
I do too. I do too. This is a good game for you to comfortably sit around and not have to worry about things. And maybe this is a
yeah,
Tesla game. Maybe this is a JMO gets his big ball game back. Maybe this is a
yeah,
game where you get the offense to try to do things. Either way, we're not freaking out, right? We're still
no,
playing hardcore. We're still nose to the grindstone, but we're
God
we're
damn
more
it,
we're more Tigers focused right now. I think
yeah,
our Lions have our Detroit sports hearts pretty sewed up good. You've been
yeah.
putting out some big Red Wings videos, and
Hmm.
thank you for that because the season's about to start.
Yeah, it's getting real close. They've kind of petered off a little bit in the preseason. I think they had 3 straight losses, but I'm probably going to cover those. But covering losses is no fun. And it's the preseason. I don't know how many people tune in for that, but I think we got a pretty good idea of where the Wings, prospects are.
Mhm.
And I think there's going to be, like I kind of said, maybe I didn't give the most passionate answer last time you asked me about that. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see if there's any Detroit Red Wings news. Have anybody? If
I
there's going to
will
be any
say
kind of roster news.
a very hockey name that I'm excited about saying a lot is Axel Sandin Pelican. That is such a
Yes.
fucking hockey name that I can't wait to have that as a part of our team.
Yeah. We got a few
That's a
more.
ugh.
We got a preseason game against the Blackhawks today at 8. So maybe we could
Mhm.
watch that after the stream ends. And then we got 2 more games against the Maple Leafs, home and home. And then our first game, we're playing the Maple Leafs a lot. We're playing them twice in the preseason, and then we're playing the Maple Leafs twice in the first 4 games. So we got Canadians, Maple Leafs, Maple Leafs. So we got 3 original 6 matchups, and we're heading to Panthers. Yeah, so the Panthers, Lightning, Oilers, that's going to be, and Maple Leafs, that's going to be a tough task for the Red Wings. Maple Leafs, I know they lost Marner, I believe, but they're still. I mean, the Panthers are still an extremely dangerous team. I think Barkov is out though, so maybe we have a remote chance. I don't know. Oilers are still dangerous. Lightning's fading a little bit, but they're still a very dangerous team. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit. I think it could be a little bit
God,
of a rough
Cam
start to the
Talbot's been with
season,
a
but
lot of teams.
yeah, we'll see how the Wings do. I'm a little more optimistic, but I'm not expecting too much. I'm keeping my. I'm not. I don't think it's. I mean, a lot of people have this mindset. There's a lot of. I tell you what. I look at a lot of our comments on these Red Wings videos. There's a lot of Wings fans out there
Mhm.
that are still very patient, and they're. I got down on Yzerman a little bit. Some
Yeah.
people were calling me out for that. People are still very much believing in the Yzer plan. People still very much trust Yzerman's strategies. And I know we talked about how his free agency and trades hasn't been that great, but the drafting's been very good. And yeah, he's brought some talent in here. We got the old Blackhawks connection with Alex DeBrincat and Patrick Kane and whatnot. Those guys are working on pretty well. But overall, I mean, some of these contracts he's got, obviously, like Comfer and Andrew Kopp and whatnot. Those are coming off the books in the next couple seasons. I think a couple of them coming off the books. They're going to have a lot more cap space coming up. But focusing more on this season, I don't know. I don't think people really believe. I don't think a lot of Red Wings fans are playoffs or bust. I think, I'm kind of backing off from that a little bit. I don't really expect much from them this season. I think they got a good shot, but if they don't make it, I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to kind of be like, whatever, because this is still very much a rebuilding team. You have some of the core pieces put together. Arsenal's pretty much got his core together right now. Anybody else he adds in free agency, a few guys here and there. I think the goaltending will be better. The defense pairing up like Moritz Seider with Ben Sherratt makes me nervous. I'm not sure where some of these defensive additions are gonna be. I don't know. Are we gonna see any of Travis Hamonic? I kind of hope not. Okay, he's probably just a depth piece for Grand Rapids, but well, we'll see. There's still questions with the Red Wings. I've discussed it. I don't know. It's just time for the goddamn season to start. Just let this goddamn season start already. I'm so tired of speculating. I want to see the product on the ice so bad. Thursday, October 9th at 7 p.m. at LCA. We're going to see the Wings and the Canadians face off. Canadians are another team in our division. They're getting up there. They're getting up there. They got some talent on the team this year. I think they got Nick Suzuki. Who's that young kid's? What's his name? Noah Dobson. They got Noah Dobson. They got Lane Hudson, Patrick Laine, Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Urav Safovsky, Capo Kakkonen, Kirby Doc. They got some solid guys on the roster. I think the Canadians are an up and coming team. That'll be a test. The Wings are going to be tested first 5 or 6 games of the season. They got some big, they got a lot of talent coming their way, but we'll see how they do. We'll see how they do. Might be a little rough, but I'm not really going to lose faith. We'll see how this team, because I think we're probably going to be enduring some adversity, but how the Wings get through that, how they respond, if they can avoid being too streaky, because that's been the theme of the Red Wings
Ugh.
of the Yzerman era, where they go like
Yes.
16-4, and then they lose like 10 of their next 12. Especially we've seen the
And they
late
look
March collapse.
awful.
Yes, they do. I'm sorry, but I've been coughing too damn much. But anyways, we see the late season collapses. We see these guys just falling apart. If the Wings, absolutely the one thing they have to be, if they want to have any measure of success, they gotta be consistent. Hopefully, consistently good. Hopefully, they can play. I think they'll be above 500 again this year, which will be good. I don't think they're going to backslide too much. I think we're going to see more of the young guys. Um, but we'll see, how they match up. Um, we'll see. I mean, James Van Riemsdyk, I don't know. I mean, the guy's on the wrong side of 30. I don't know what he has left in the tank. I am excited to see
Hey,
Axel
easy
Sandy
now. We
Pellikka.
might be buying a Van Riemsdyk jersey this
Oh
year.
Jesus! But we got like Emmett Finney. He was kind of a standout in the preseason. Carter Mazur. Let's see what he can do. Um, Nate Danielson, another guy I'm excited to see. Marco Casper still filling in that second line center spot, which the Wings have desperately needed. But yeah, we might see more. We might see some Michael Brandseg, Nygaard, Elmer Soderblom, Simon Edvidson. Still, we are not. We have like the two top guys are probably going to be Moritz Seider and Simon Edvidson, but I don't think. I mean, there might be some line cycling. Obviously, that's just part of hockey. But I'd like to see what Simon Edvidson and Moritz Seider can do. I like to see some of the stats. When they're on the ice together, if they ever are, because who they're getting paired with is just But we'll see how this team does. We'll see what they do. We might see some Shai William Vollander. So we'll probably see some of the Grand Rapids guys, some of the guys coming up. But it's still going to be kind of a crapshoot, I think. But Sebastian Costa, there's some questions about him going forward. We'll see. Let me see here. We got a statement from Todd McClellan. Hopefully, this isn't a paid article. As in the case of many goaltenders, Costa development has included both ups and downs as far as the 10 years of Toledo Walleye and Grand Rapids Griffins, making 15 saves and 17 shots in a 3-2 win over the Chicago Blackhawks. Costa surrendered 4 goals in the 16 shots he faced, part of a 5-2 loss. I believe that was against the Buffalo Sabres. Tage Thompson kind of lit him up. Kind of a shame. They're both positive and negatives, but Todd McClellan says he likes what he sees. We'll see what happens. I think he has some of the talent there. Obviously that's why they drafted him. He's been the Wings' big project for a number of years now. God damn it. But we'll see what he does. It's a big question in goaltending. Can they get a guy that's consistent? Can they get a guy that can win them some games? They've just kind of been a goalie carousel for the last few years since Jimmy Howard left. But, they need
Good
obviously
old
number one
Jimmy
goaltender.
Howard.
Yeah, good old Jimmy Howard. He had some solid games for us, but
He did. He did.
he did. He had some good
James was
moments with
Hutch.
us. Yeah, but yeah, Jimmy. I don't think he got enough daps personally, but we'll see what they can do. Is this John Gibson guy? Can he be kind of the anchor? Maybe I don't know how many starts we're going to get out of him. If he's going to be a workhorse, get a 50-60 start kind of season. We'll see. There's still some question marks, but I don't know. I've been speculating so much. I've been making a lot of content about the Wings, as you know, but I just want to see the product on the ice. That's what I'm mostly interested in. So I don't know what your thoughts are on or I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I'm going to tell you what my thoughts are. So I was really getting agitated because I'm not a super duper big Red Wings hockey aficionado like yourself. You say
Mhm.
you're not, shut up, you are. But it got me to the point where I needed to reset my expectations and figure out what this whole Iser plan looks like. Your videos, the comments from the viewers, they've kind of reset me and said to the whole trust the Iser plan. Like I trusted Brad Holmes, like I'm asking
Mhm.
you to trust Scott Harris. So I started looking at, and you were talking at some of these the roster. I just typed in Detroit Red Wings roster. There's two big names on there, but old big
Mhm.
names that I'm cool with. And the rest of it, yeah, they're just gritty ass draft picks. So if this
Mhm.
is what he does, and if you're telling me that if you want to believe in Iserman, and the key to believing in Iserman is let him draft and then let these things play out, then I'm excited. I'm watching it
Mhm.
from a now. I texted you. It was on the radio last night, and I'm like, okay. I'm like picturing myself now taken back and saying, okay, let's watch this whole season unfold as an excited, like all
Yeah.
these names, all these young guys, right? Um, he's gonna get 2, 3 years out of that, 2 years out of that with me. And then I'm going to want to see some dubs, but I think the season's going to be really good. I think it's going to be a season where I think we actually do make the playoffs.
Mhm.
I think a lot of fanfare is gone with expecting him to bring in big names and literally woo us like 97, 98, not
Yeah.
realizing that that was 97, 98. He came in the league in what, 84?
Yes, he was drafted
Was
in
it
'83.
84?
Yep.
He was drafted in 83, and the shit we're talking about that we fell in love with was 97. So,
Mhm.
okay, there it is right there, Mark. Listen to Hermdo, listen to all these other folks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's my thought process.
That's the thing. The thing is, people don't realize I was too young for this, obviously, but looking back at following the Wings as I have, Eiserman was considered a choke artist. It took him 14
He was
years to win a cup. He didn't really, until like you started getting Lidstrom and Fedorov and Shanahan involved. The guy just couldn't win. Granted, he didn't have always the best supporting cast. They had some other decent players like Jan Ogrodniks
yeah, and
and
he
Reed
was going
Larsons in
against
the
the
'80s.
Gretzky era too.
Yeah, the
So
Gretzky era too. I
that
mean, no one's
was
getting past Gretzky. That's in
no
that
one.
era. That was insane. But it took him a while to get where he was. He's kind of like an Alex Ovechkin in a way. Alex Ovechkin didn't
Yeah.
win. He was drafted in '04. He didn't win until 2018. A very similar path as Steve Yzerman.
Yep.
But yeah, it's one of those things. But yeah, you're talking about, we should talk more about Red Wings hockey history, maybe another episode. I know we're kind of running short on time here,
That's a
but
great
yeah,
idea actually, because
yeah.
I could offer a lot more about Red Wings hockey history than probably so much more about the future.
Yeah, yeah. I focus more on where this team's going to be, but in the next few years, I'm going to get a little more positive here. And I know that I think there's a method behind Steve Yzerman's madness when it comes to like some of these free agency signings. Some of the trades have been kind of like, huh? But I think he's bringing in a lot of bridge guys because I think his
Yeah.
his main thing is draft, 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 draft. In the next couple of
Yep.
years, you're going to see a lot of these guys, a lot of these dudes on the wrong side of 30, a lot of these guys who just on the 2 or 3 year contracts, they're going away. And we're going to be seeing the Carter Bears, the Axel Sandin Pelicans, the Nate Danielsons fill those roles over the next 2 or 3 years. And for the most part, I think Wings fans are, from what I've seen, I can only speak. It might be different for you guys out there watching. Maybe you guys
Mm.
have seen something different. I know a lot of people, if you listen to 97 the ticket, they're totally out on Yzerman. I mean, Valeni's been banging that drum for like 3 years now. It's just like, dude, give it a rest. Go eat some spaghetti or something. But it's basically, you're going to be seeing more of these guys rotated in there. The roster is going to get a lot younger. And yeah, we don't really have top level talent anymore, but we're going to have a fuck ton of cap money to get somebody around the mid 20s age range, somebody who can, be a 90, 100 point getter, or some elite defensive guys. I know we were in the Noah Dobson sweepstakes, but that didn't work out. Obviously, but it's one of those things. Yzerman's free agency. But it hinges on a few things. Yzerman has to have better relationships with these agents. I know there's a lot of tension between him and some of these agents, some of the big player agents here. Yzerman is not a very easy guy to talk to, and you're going to have to get.
He's
He's
so
going to have to
quiet and
schmooze a
weird.
little bit. He's a quiet guy. He keeps everything to himself. He's one of these dudes, and I'd love Yzerman to open up a little bit. That's just not his mo. But he's going to have to, if he wants this team. I mean, obviously, we're going to be waiting a few more years for this team to be a cup contender. But if he wants to start jumpstarting this team, I mean, I just don't think he's going to he's not going to go out, give like a Kaprizov deal. I mean, Kirill Kaprizov for the Minnesota Wild signed like a 8 year, $136 million deal, some absolutely insane deal. I think the biggest hockey deal ever. I mean, I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know what the AAV is on that, but I gotta imagine it's even higher than Austin Matthews, which is absolutely insane. But the
Well,
Kirill wanted
they'll
to go
all
back to
be
the cave.
absolutely say they'll all be absolutely insane until the next one, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to bring this up because we started on postseason baseball. Then we talked about the Lions and the Cincinnati game, and then we kind of amped up everybody for opener of the Red Wings game. But
Mhm.
really, before we do sign off, looking at this postseason picture, we already know that the Mariners are a bye, Toronto's a bye. Tell me where you see this thing playing out in the next round.
If
You
I had
see
to
Detroit
guess,
playing Seattle.
I got a feeling I think Detroit takes care of business in Cleveland. I think we move on. I don't think we're getting past the Seattle Mariners. We do not have the
Nope.
pitching. We do not have the pitching
Nope.
to tackle that offense. I hate to
And
say it.
we can't outslug them. We cannot outslug them.
No, we absolutely can't. Seattle, I think, goes to the ALCS, where I believe the Yankees, I don't know. I know like some of their big names just do not show up in the postseason. I think Boston's hungrier because Boston was, some of these teams, even the Yankees looked a little weak there for a while. A lot of these teams, Seattle was there, Detroit was leading so high. A lot of these teams were just kind of, I mean, they weren't like clawing bottom or nothing, but they were like in the middle of the pack and they were kind of around the 500 mark. And they just, in the last couple months of the season, they shot up. Their stock went way up. Everything just kind of clicked. Seattle Mariners, they started playing a lot better. New York started playing a lot
So are
better.
you thinking
Boston
this is
started
a
playing a lot
one and
better.
two in the ALCS?
I think so. I think Boston's
Okay, that's
hungrier.
where I'm headed to.
I think Boston's hungrier than the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to sputter. If I had to guess, I don't know what the score of that game is. I could be full of shit, but
Still 1-0 Yankees.
still 1-0 Yankees. I don't know, man. I don't know. God almighty. Hold on one
Well, I'll
second
tell you
here.
what. So this is an easier way to say this. You can say Toronto is going to face off that they're going to
Yeah.
win that series.
I
Whoever
think
they
it's going to
play,
be
Boston, New
Toronto.
York,
Do
and
I honestly
Seattle.
want to say that Toronto's going to the World Series? They got the offense. I think they could take care of. I think it's going to be, if I absolutely have to guess, gun to my head, I think it's going to be Phillies, Toronto. That's my bracket. Looking at some of the
Ooh,
NLCS
okay.
teams.
That is not what the Major League Baseball wants it to be. They want it to
Yeah,
be Seattle versus LA. They want
yeah.
the big I forgot I already got his
They
name.
want it to be New York
But they're
versus
loving
LA.
him, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
that
gonna. I
too.
mean,
But
I would
Seattle's
like.
got a good
Yeah,
story with these home runs.
yeah. Obviously they do. Cal Raleigh is a looks like a generational talent out there. He just kind of came out of nowhere. But if I had to guess, I'd love to see a Detroit San Diego rematch of the '84 World Series, but
God, that'd be awesome.
not this year. That would be awesome, but not this year.
He don't want to
Jack
walk
Morris
you.
versus Tony Gwynn. Yeah. hmm Milwaukee, I don't know. They're an extremely talented club, but we'll see.
Or Kirk Gibson versus Goose Gossage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was
The
fun.
battle of the mustaches. I want you to have a mustache next time we're back. I think you owe it to the world to
Oh,
have a
I
powerful
might.
mustache.
I may very well have a mustache.
All right. Well, I think we need to end on the note of you potentially having a mustache because I want to see this game end.
hmm
I'm going to eat some lovely dinner and yeah, dude, another excellent video. Thank you so much for
Yes, yes.
joining.
I think it was very good. Sorry about all the coughing. I'm going to go to the doctor and get this shit taken care of. But
It's okay. I cough
probably
half the
should
time
stop smoking
so
too. Yeah, I just sometimes when I'm
that
talking, it just
helps.
like my
I'm
throats
not going to
get dry.
lie.
Yeah, but
Quit smoking
yeah,
helps, but I'm not going to bug
yeah.
you.
I know, I know. I gotta buckle down on that shit. But yeah, but that's a good episode, good show. I think we answered a lot of our questions. We had to do some research here. I have so many tabs open right now, but yeah, I think I don't know. I feel optimistic about the Tigers beating the Guardians, but I don't think we're gonna be making it out of the ALDS. I think it's gonna be kind of a similar situation to last year, which is disappointing. The Tigers have
Yep.
a lot of things to work on. This offseason could be very, very big for the Tigers. I don't see them spending too much, but could they bring in a Bregman or something? Or could they bring in some guys, maybe
Well, tell you what,
a Dylan
the one
Cease to
positive
short the
thing
rotation? Yeah.
is if we do play Seattle, we'll have to stay up aggressively late to watch some of these games.
Yeah, those West Coast games are going to be brutal. Imagine like a Seattle, Los Angeles World Series. That's going to be like starting time will be like 3 in the morning. But
Oh,
yeah, that's all I
gross.
got. That's all I got for the episode. But yeah, we'll have to convene at some other time. Maybe after we'll see how the Tigers do in the wild card. Go Tigers, baby! Go all these teams! Go Lions! We got to start talking about the Pistons at some point too, man. We got to start adding some basketball in here. But
We
yeah,
will. I have lots of Pistons jerseys to wear. I've got my Pistons swag already up here,
yep,
and
yep,
I am big into cards to the point
yes.
where I even collect basketball cards.
Oh,
So
very cool, very cool.
this is my little station that I do all my boxing up. I've got some stuff I need to box up later
Yeah,
here. But yeah, thank you for joining. We'll talk to you
absolutely.
guys very soon. Hit subscribe and look into Building 7. It just completely fell down. Bye.
Yes, it did. Bye bye.
I thought you said I was all right, Spider. So
No, you ain't all right, Spidey. You got a lot of fucking problems.
no, I thought you said you were all right.